What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Nice Catch Podcast, where we're here to catch you up on all the latest football news and analysis. I'm Baden.
And I'm Hank. Today, we are going to be talking about, the Super Bowl, recapping this game as well as some of the other celebrations around it, the NFL honors and the new Hall of Fame class. But we're going to be focusing on the big game as much as we can. And after this, the next month, me and Baden were just talking, there's not much going on.
No, this is really the final marker for the season, and then we got a little break before we start the next season.
Yeah, it's wait a second. There's time in the world that doesn't have football going on. It just doesn't feel quite right.
So the worst time in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-oh.
I don't know if we can call that, but it's definitely one of the more boring times.
That's fair. What am I supposed to do with my weekends?
No NFL.
If it rains on Saturday, what am I going to be doing?
Gonna sit and stare at a wall.
Yeah.
For 20.
A wall that's not lit up by football.
A wall that's not lit up by a glorious NFL.
Yeah.
Just a blank screen.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I guess if you want to jump right into the Super Bowl, your initial thoughts, your recap of the game, how you felt about it?
Yeah, I had said it was going to be closer, and we will say it was not as close as I expected it to be. There were some times that it felt like the Patriots had a little bit of momentum, but really the whole time the Seahawks just took control of the game. I came away a lot more entertained than the score lets on, though. The Seahawks played incredible defense the entire game, just being able to shut down the Patriots offense, who, sure, this was a beatdown, but the Patriots offense with, Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs and Pop Douglas, that's not who you want as your wide receiver one, and you made it to a Super Bowl with these guys and a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
I still think the Patriots season was amazing. This shouldn't discount it. They made it to a Super Bowl, and I was more entertained. I think also Kenneth Walker deserved his MVP trophy. There was a lot of, we were texting about this during the game, there was a lot of great defense, but it was more the Seahawks defense as a whole than it was a Seahawks defender.
Definitely. No, I think, we did talk about that. And, just overall, I think that was kind of the domination that could have happened did happen. Just like what we saw from the Seahawks against the 49ers, what we saw from that defense kind of late in the postseason and in the last few weeks of the regular season, that defense showed up to play. And not to discount, Drake May set the Super Bowl record for the most, or set the NFL record for the most passing yards thrown in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
I didn't realize that.
He ended up with almost 300 yards, 295 passing yards.
That's actually crazy.
2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 6 sacks. That's a big story for you right there.
Because he tied Joe Burrow's postseason sack record. Is that right?
He tied and then broke his postseason sack record.
I know they broke it on a sack fumble, but they went back and turned that sack fumble into a pick six.
Oh, so it might have still been tied.
Went back to. I'm gonna fact check it while you're finishing up your
for sure
initial takeaways.
Good call. But I was just so impressed. First off, the first quarter, both defenses put on a show. The Patriots defense fought so hard, but I think it's one of those things when you're on the field so much, and then you don't see your you make a 3-and-out stop, you get a turnover, and then you don't see your offense make a play off of that, get points off of that. I think mentally that next drive is harder, and then it happens again, and that next drive is harder. And so eventually when the defense is always on the field and then getting beat down and not having a lot of faith in their offense, that's when you see, them being able to put up 29 points against this defense. So kind of like you were saying, I think the score doesn't really show how exciting the game was, but then also how tough the Patriots really did play.
Yeah.
If you look at the score layout, the Seahawks 3 points in the first quarter, 6 points in the second quarter, 3 points in the third quarter. So they haven't scored a touchdown until the fourth quarter, and then 17 points in the fourth quarter. And you get 3 quarters in, and your offense has scored 0 points. I think that's pretty demoralizing.
Yeah.
And so the Patriots defense, is just they're gonna get wore out. And then, of course, the Patriots are also able to put up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. But and then the last thing that I'll say on that is I think one of the things that we saw throughout the couple postseason games of just some youth and inexperience from Drake May, that was seen in the Super Bowl. He's still a really young quarterback. And like you said, he had an amazing season, but still sometimes, especially in these high-pressure situations, he's getting rushed just absolutely viciously.
Yeah.
You're going to see that youth come out, I think. And so we saw some mistakes, some bad throws, a couple picks. And so I think that what we saw in the other playoff games was just highlighted more when you're playing against such a ruthless defense that allows for a lot less mistakes. And that's kind of how I really enjoyed the game. I think that, it was nobody from the beginning of the season. Nobody expected this to be the matchup. And even if it was the matchup, I don't think anybody at the beginning of the season would have picked it to go this way. So this was quite the NFL season.
Yeah.
An absolutely insane season all around.
Yeah. If we're talking about I did fact check. He did break Joe Burrow's record.
Okay.
He was sacked 21 times this postseason. That Joe Burrow's record was 19. And I remember, I think Joe Burrow was sacked. I can't remember. I could not get Google to pull me up the Super Bowl, who's been sacked most in the Super Bowl. But I don't think Drake May broke that record.
Okay. I feel like he was sacked 8 times.
I feel like he was 8 or 9. Who's been sacked most in Super Bowl? Let's see if that. Okay. Joe Burrow. Okay, it says 7 here. Joe Burrow and Roger Staubach, and then a few different teams that have had 7 sacks in a Super Bowl, and then Von Miller had 4.5 sacks in one game, but that's other end obviously.
Yeah, other end of it. Would that have been against the Panthers?
It was in Super Bowl 50.
Oh yeah, so against the Panthers when he got MVP.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
One player I do want to shout out. I think that the game would have been much more of a blowout without Christian Gonzalez. I think the best corner in the league for the past couple of years has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I think for a little bit, I considered Sauce Gardner to be one of the very best corners in the league.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I clowned the Texans for not taking Sauce Gardner and for taking Derek Stingley. And I would pick Derek Stingley over Sauce Gardner, 90 times out of 100 right now.
Definitely at this point.
Not 99 because Sauce is still good. But
yeah. Derek Stingley definitely this season was one of the best.
Yeah.
Definitely top 3. Probably in my opinion top 2 with Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah. Because you have Surtain out there too, but he was hurt for a good bit of this season. And then Christian Gonzalez, this guy, second round pick when he was projected to go a lot higher a couple years ago. And he's been a standout corner for the Patriots on just a roster that as a whole doesn't have a lot of players that are big names, doesn't have a lot of players that are just you're going to see their jersey everywhere you go. And Christian Gonzalez might be he's a top 3 player on the Patriots right now, probably.
Absolutely.
At his position, he's probably the best player at his position on the Patriots, if that makes sense.
I think that's completely fair. I appreciated how they highlighted, because during the Super Bowl they did highlight him a lot. And that's one of the things they said, just the announcers just kept bringing up, is this game would be so much different right now if it weren't for Christian Gonzalez. Like, the points, the Seahawks would have had so many more points if it weren't for him. He really played such a good defensive game. His cover, just the athleticism really is crazy. Some of the reads that he had and the ways that he jumped defenders and got his hands in there, it really was a defensive showcase from him.
I just realized Kenneth Walker did not score a touchdown.
No.
And he was the MVP. That's funny. I searched who was the last Super Bowl MVP to not score a touchdown. It says Kenneth Walker. yes, I know that.
Okay, all right.
The fifth offensive player in the Super Bowl to win MVP without scoring or throwing a touchdown. Julian Edelman in Super Bowl 53, so only 7 years ago. And then before that, you have to go back to Deion Branch in Super Bowl 39. Wow, Roman numerals. And then Fred Biletnikoff, who's the college best receiver award is named after. I assume it's him.
Surely.
Is Super Bowl 11, and then Joe Namath in Super Bowl 3. That's according to Google AI. So thank you.
I'm looking. I can't even remember how they had one receiving touchdown to a tight end who had never caught a receiving touchdown in his career.
The Seahawks did?
Yeah, A.J. Barner.
Yes.
That was his first touchdown.
Really?
I think so. I think they said that. Then again, I could be thinking incorrectly. No, he has six regular season touchdowns. That's what this says. No, that can't be right. Regular season.
Who are you looking at? This says one career touchdown.
Yeah, no, that's definitely right. Google AI is just lying to me, I'm afraid. Because I just went to his season stats and they. Okay, yeah. So he has one. He had one touchdown, and that was in the Super Bowl.
Wait, no, this says 6-2 now. What is?
Maybe one postseason touchdown.
Yeah, that was his first postseason.
Okay, it was his first postseason touchdown was in the Super Bowl, and then they didn't have any rushing touchdowns. Did they have 2 defensive touchdowns?
The Seahawks.
Because Sam Darnold only threw for 1.
It's been too long. Because there was the pick six, Nwosu, the sack fumble that they changed to a pick six. And then because they only had 2 touchdowns, which is crazy. 29 points, but only 2 touchdowns.
29 points, only 2 touchdowns. Yep. Golly.
And it was also quick.
Another kicker.
Yes.
And their Seahawks punter.
Yes.
I can't say enough. I saw some of the most perfect punts I have ever seen in that game. It was a special teams show.
335 punting yards.
That's insane.
And 3 of them were inside the 20.
Yeah. Goodness. Yeah. The punter and the kicker. I was sitting there after the game, and I was like, there's no way they give it to the kicker, right? There's no chance. Yeah. And I thought about it, I was like, okay, yeah, Kenneth Walker with his game. It's got to be either Kenneth Walker, if Kenneth Walker didn't have the game he had, it's got to be the kicker.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was at too. I was like, I think they give it to Kenneth Walker, and then maybe someone on the defense, maybe you give it to Nwosu, but he didn't do anything except the pick six, and he was just kind of in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And other than that,
would be crazy to see a kicker get the Super Bowl MVP.
Only 2 players had multiple sacks. No one really was all out there standalone. I was Jason Myers is top 3 in Super Bowl MVP because Sam Darnold had a great game, but barely over 200 yards.
Yeah, 19 for 38.
Yeah, only completing half of his passes. So, wait, yeah, that's right.
That's
19 times 2 is 38, right?
74 passer rating.
And which is, fine, but that's actually really funny that Drake May's stats were technically better.
Yeah, technically better, but it all came from the fourth quarter,
and
which is you can. It could have been kind of garbage time for especially for the second half of the fourth quarter. But anyways, yeah.
What I also do wonder has been a trend, I guess, recently, is that the losing quarterback just doesn't make it back. if the quarterback loses his first Super Bowl, doesn't ever make it back. I think the last quarterback to like lose in a Super Bowl and make it back, I want to. It was like 20 years ago. Part of me wants to say Colin Kaepernick, but I think he made it and then didn't ever make it back. I don't feel like he made it twice.
I don't. I think because the next time they made it to the Super Bowl was Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah. Because you think about Joe Burrow, lost one, never made it back. Mm-hmm. I guess Jalen Hurts kind of broke that.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Other than Jalen Hurts, all of the like losing like Jimmy Garoppolo did never make it back to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy still hasn't made it back to the Super Bowl. Nick Foles never made it back to the Super Bowl.
Foles.
No, he won.
He
though.
won. Yeah,
sorry. So, and I guess that the Patriots losing all of those doesn't really count. Who was the last QB to lose his Super Bowl debut and make it back? Yes, Jalen Hurts. Who else? John Elway, I think, was
John
the last
Elway
one
was the
before
last
that,
one.
which is crazy.
That's crazy.
In the last 16, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, that's a good point, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Colin Kaepernick, Rex Grossman, Matt Hasselbeck. I forget he made it to a Super Bowl. Donovan McNabb, and just a lot of like early 2000s. Mm-hmm. Drew Bledsoe. Super Bowl 36 doesn't count because he wasn't the starter. And then Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts have lost their Super Bowl debut. And then Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff. So that's actually that's actually crazy.
That is crazy. So hey,
we'll see
you know
if
what?
Drake May can make
we
it
would
back.
love to see Drake May back.
And like also credit to the rest of the Patriots staff and roster. Like Mike Vrabel winning Coach of the Year, Josh McDaniels winning Assistant Coach of the Year, I think is perfect the way it probably should have gone. There's a lot of great coaches this year, but to go from 4-13 to making it to the Super Bowl is insane.
Yeah, that is a crazy turnaround.
And I think last episode I said I would give Drake May MVP barely over Matthew Stafford. And I went back and looked a little deeper at the stats, and I do think just Matthew Stafford's touchdown to interception ratio this year was actually really good, which is really funny because that's not what he's known for. The year that they won the Super Bowl, he actually led the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
It is funny.
But like this season, 46 touchdowns, which like, I mean, that over 50 touchdowns has happened a couple times recently in the like Peyton Manning era, Tom Brady, and those guys. But like 46 is a really good number, and only 8 picks. That's 17th in the league for picks. So first in the league in touchdowns by a good bit, and 4,700 yards first. Sure, you had Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Because that would have been I think my case for Drake May would have been that when you think about MVP, like Drake May was definitely on the offense, I think. Like he was definitely the most valuable player on that offense. But like also I think what could have maybe made the case for it, or like been kind of a final nail in the coffin, for me at least, is just depth of schedule and what Matthew Stafford, like with his stats, with his touchdown to interception ratio, with all that, the teams that he was playing. I mean, you think about just in his division,
the Seahawks.
Which is,
it's like most years, like everyone's like they won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl, and even the 49ers, division round team, playing both of those
before
teams.
The 49ers were very injured, too. I mean, if they were healthy, I think that they would have been up there with the Seahawks. Maybe not the Seahawks, because, statistically, the Seahawks, it's like, we're so used to guys like, teams like the Patriots or the Chiefs, that it's like, oh, they're going to win again, or the Bills even. Like, the Eagles the past couple of years. Statistically, the Seahawks have been one of the best teams according to this ESPN article, and I'm going to pull up now, in NFL history, if you look at some statistics with the defense, with the points allowed and everything, I was reading an article about ranking Super Bowl winner. And I was like,
you're saying like their season,
season.
them this year statistically is one of the best to ever win a Super Bowl.
Yes, that's what I was.
Okay.
Because I was expecting.
I thought you were talking like franchise. Like
no.
One of the
Well,
best
I mean,
franchises.
they've been really good,
there,
and they're a younger franchise
well, they've
too.
been like 3 times in the last 15 years.
Yeah, twice because they made it to another one. Or I guess.
Yeah, they've been 3 times, won 2.
In the last like 15ish years, and they made one or another in the early 2000s. But I was reading this article expecting to find the Seahawks around the middle of the field because yes, they only lost 3 games, but I don't know. It's like Sam Darnold's their quarterback, and like yes, he's a Super Bowl winner, but he's still like you just don't think of him in the same light.
Yeah.
But they ranked him as the 3rd best Super Bowl winning team of all time, which blew my mind. But it's like you're looking at all of this, and according to DVOA, which I don't even know what that stands for. But 12th best defense since 1978, 24th best special team since 1978, and like a really good offense. I mean, offensive player of the year winner. Or wait, Jason did win offensive player of the year, right?
Yeah, okay. Jackson.
Yes. 8th toughest schedule in the league. It doesn't say if it was this year or not. And it's 3 losses were by a combined 9 points. I didn't even realize that.
Wow.
9 more points, they would have
been undefeated.
They would have been undefeated.
That's crazy.
In their division, too, against the Rams, against the 49ers. And then you look at, they beat the 6 seed 49ers 41-6. Like, that's in the playoffs. That was the strongest single game of the season by any team, and it was in the playoffs.
Wow.
And then they barely beat the Rams in the NFC Championship. But again, that's the Rams we talked about. Yeah, and I don't. What does DVOA stand for? I need a defense adjusted value over average. It's a sophisticated American football metric by FTN Fantasy that measures team efficiency, calculates performance on every play, comparing it to a league average baseline. That's according to Google AI once again. Thank you, Google AI.
Thank you, Google AI.
Sponsored by Google AI. And it's not like raw stats. It's like it takes into account situational context, who the opponent is, and like I don't even fully get it, but a metric that takes into account a lot of different things.
Yeah,
lists them at the 3rd. And again, what I said about a combined 9 points, like one more field goal in each game, or 2 more field goals, I guess, in each game, they were undefeated.
That's actually crazy. And really, like you said, like if you take me back to the preseason episode, the Seahawks are not a team. Like if you let me rank my top 15, my top 20, I don't know if I'm putting the Seahawks up there. Mm-hmm. That might be an exaggeration. But maybe not. Like I'm definitely not putting the Seahawks up there. Like, and definitely after a 14-3 season, the Patriots are nowhere near the top of that list.
Yeah.
And I mean, we see what happened. Look at what the Seahawks did, and now they're the highest bet team they have the highest odds to go back. The Seahawks do.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. I mean, you think about Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and then a healthy 49ers team with Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and all of these guys.
Yeah, I think right now in like way too early Super Bowl picks, I think the top 3 like highest picked are Seahawks, Rams, and Bills. Maybe I think those are the 3.
Yeah, that would be fair.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure from what I saw. And that completely makes sense. But that's just such a different thing than we would have saw. I mean, yeah, probably Bills would be up there. But like if you think about going into this season, maybe Rams, but like the Chiefs aren't even in the top 5 out of bet. They might not even be in the top. They're definitely in the top 10, but they're not in the top 5 picks. I mean,
I guess Mahomes is going to be recovering.
Yeah.
What they do with that once free agency opens up, if they decide to pick up a veteran there, which is what I assume they'll do, or if they draft, it wouldn't really make sense to draft a guy
because you know that Patrick Mahomes is going to be.
Yeah,
once you get him healthy, you're not looking for a backup for Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, oh no, he's so good, but Patrick Mahomes. It's not like we're gonna play him against him or over him. Yeah, it is Seahawks, Bills, and Rams are at the top, or Seahawks, Rams, Ravens, and Bills tied.
Ravens and Bills.
And then Packers and Chargers rounding out the top 5. And then Eagles, Lions, there's the Chiefs. Patriots are all the way down at, I think, 9th. Guess who last is? There's 2 teams tied for last.
Raiders. And
No, wow. Raiders are 4th to last.
Oh, really?
So Fernando Mendoza,
People got some faith in my boy. Are Dolphins at the bottom?
they are at the very bottom.
Dolphins, really?
Which is, who would have thought?
Yeah, because they just
They just released Tyreek
Hill.
But the Dolphins scored 70 points against the Broncos a couple years ago.
2 years ago, and now it's just an absolute. They just completely fell apart.
The other one you can probably guess too. Poverty franchise for the last few years. Not the Browns.
Oh, Bengals? No,
No.
not Bengals. Sorry, that was a dumb. I don't even know. Why I said
They're
Bengals.
poverty financially, but not in wins. This team has not made the playoffs in like 20 years.
My brain's just
Same division as the Dolphins. The last time they made the playoffs was like with Mark Sanchez or something like that. That's what
Jets. Sorry.
Who was the last Jets QB to play in the playoffs? Not in the Super Bowl. In the playoffs.
The Jets.
It was Mark Sanchez in 2010 season.
Elite ball knowledge.
That was a guess. I just, Mark Sanchez has been in the news this season, so.
Indeed.
For other reasons.
For non-football.
But, as you mentioned, the Dolphins also did cut Tyreek Hill. And so, as free agency opens up, that's probably going to be the biggest thing that we see before the season actually starts is okay, what does clean house look like? Mm-hmm. The Dolphins are going to be one of those teams that clean house. They're already starting with cutting Tyreek Hill, 8-time Pro Bowler, who, yes, is old and is coming off of a devastating leg injury.
Yeah.
But, is Tua next? Most people think that they're going to move on from Tua. Yeah. I think the Cardinals should move on from Kyler Murray, kind of in the same frame of idea. So what else is clean house going to look like? I think is going to be a big thing we can look at for a little while.
Yeah, definitely. What are the Jets going to do? Because they've kind of already made moves and stuff, and now none of those moves have worked.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I really coming into this season thought they had a better chance than what they put on.
I thought they did too. Justin Fields played some good games with the Steelers last season.
He did. Obviously he was pretty good with the Bears. Yeah, even really good at some points.
He was really good at rushing, and if he was a polished enough passer, then he could be a really good quarterback. But again, it's the Jets.
Yeah.
On the Jets, you're not going to do anything. Off the Jets, you're going to win Super Bowls.
Exactly. Just seriously. Sam Darnold, goodness. What a story for that guy.
Yeah.
What a story for Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I was thinking, whenever I started getting into football, it's Sam Darnold is getting mono and out for a month and then seeing ghosts. It's that's what I knew Sam Darnold as. It's oh, wait, no, now he's won 14 games back-to-back seasons and won a Super Bowl with, a defensive team, but,
still,
this guy won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl. You can't, It always frustrates. I understand the thought process, but it is frustrating when a quarterback wins a Super Bowl, and people are just just a system guy, and out of 32 teams, he's the quarterback that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I understand that maybe he's not a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady, but he made it to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, and so you can't take away from that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's kind of how I feel with people making fun of the Patriots. Hey, they made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Come on. Hate on that, I guess.
Yeah.
That's about it for the next month.
Yeah,
right?
that's not much else to talk about. Yeah, it really was a great. Okay, let's just think back to how this season started. Bills Ravens.
Yeah, okay.
Was our very first game.
That's the first Sunday night game.
The first Sunday night game. And I mean, just like starting Sunday nights off with a bang.
Yeah.
And then now, fast forward all the way to now, and we just watched the Super Bowl between the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Yeah.
What a season. What a season.
Yeah, the first game of the season was Eagles and the Cowboys. And that's when the Colts beat the Dolphins 33-8, and we were like, "Wait a second, is Daniel Jones
the
good?"
guy? And then Daniel Jones
down.
Daniel Jones was the guy until like what, week 8, week 10?
Yeah, around then. The Steelers barely beat the Jets in week 1. The Bills Ravens game was insane. You go to like, just looking at a few different weeks around here. Dolphins beating the Bills. That was a funny game. I thought the Commanders were going to be really good this season.
Me
and they
too.
Were really bad.
They were really bad.
I mean, injuries, of course, but still.
But I mean, even like, when did Jaden Daniels get hurt? Week 6, week 8, mid season, and they were already in the hole by the time Jaden Daniels got
the Commanders won, lost, won, so 3-2, and then lost. Won, lost, won. But the last game of the season didn't matter.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the worst turnarounds we saw.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember they were definitely high on my list with Jaden Daniels and how they made it to the NFC Championship last year.
I mean, it's sad to see, like, that could be the Patriots next season.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Which is crazy. Who's going to be the next Seahawks? And, like, also, I just want to take a step back and, like, sure, complain about the Super Bowl. But, like, it wasn't the Chiefs. It wasn't we can look back on the Rams and Bengals Super Bowl. And, like, that was a great game. It was unique. Like, teams we don't see all the time. That's what, sure, it's the Patriots.
But it's a completely different
Patriots. Different. Like, your coach was a player one of the, like, recent times you were in a Super Bowl. And then the Seahawks. Like, sure, you've seen them a couple times, but pretty much totally new. And, like, also just, I think, good defenses just make unique Super Bowls a little extra interesting, too. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Some good defense.
I 100% agree. And I want to see an AFC team. I need to see an AFC Seahawks or Rams because, look, I'm just telling you right now, unless conditions were perfect, there is not a team that was in the, like, divisional and up in the AFC that was going to beat the Seahawks or even, honestly, the Rams if the Rams had made it.
Yeah.
Like, the Broncos were not, especially, with Bo Nix, with Bo Nix, maybe, but
I don't know.
But I think the odds are completely stacked against them, even with Bo Nix. But definitely with Jarrett Stidham, the Broncos are not winning that game. And go down to the next round. I mean, the Bills.
The Bills could have.
I think the Bills are the only team that could have, but they're so inconsistent. It's like, well, you say they could have, but they couldn't beat the Broncos. You see, and so it's like, and then
and the Broncos' defense is good.
Who'd the Patriots beat? The Patriots beat the Texans, and with C.J. Stroud, they're not. It's like we need the AFC to kind of start picking up the slack.
Yeah,
because they have been the conference. Like the AFC has been like, you see, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, even like for the Bengals in there, like they have been the conference that's like, you got to be careful with the AFC. And now it's like, oh no, you got the Rams, you got the Patriots, you got the 49ers, the Eagles, like somewhat less consistently, on and off, but like still, like I feel like now the teams that the scary teams are on the other side.
Yeah.
And the AFC, you're like, it could be anybody, And so we need some power in the AFC. We need the Texans. The Texans need to pick it up. I think that's unlikely at this point.
Yeah. Hey.
But
who knows?
You never
if
know.
You get an offensive line, anything could happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah, but
you can do anything.
You can
with
do
an offensive
anything
line.
with that game-changing squad right there is those front 5, or depending on what you have. 5. No,
starting 5.
For starting 5. Yeah, but I mean that's just about all we have to cover unless you got anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, we'll see what happens this next month-ish. Because, like, once free agency starts, we'll start getting, like, new free agency episodes. In the draft, y'all know I love the draft. That's my favorite. I haven't made any mock drafts yet, but, like, they're going to be making their way
I'm very excited for, and especially now that I have a little bit, maybe less on my plate, I'm excited to maybe be able to really dig into some be able to like really put together some draft stuff and spend a little bit more time on it.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And yes, but maybe probably this next month or so, as there's not much going on, definitely will probably be 2 weeks in between episodes. Like do one every other week. Like we've been doing that the past couple weeks as well. So probably stick with that. We could even maybe, like, if we don't have anything in a couple weeks, we could do like a big going back to our preseason episodes, predictions, seeing what we had. But yeah, we'll definitely.
That could be our next one if there's like nothing going on.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
that's what I got.
What a season, guys.
Yeah.
Play the outro music for the NFL season.
Yeah. Use your outro music. And thanks for listening to the Nice Catch podcast. If you love football, continue to tune in each episode from the offseason all the way through the playoffs. This is the Nice Catch podcast.